People who live near Danbury Airport are used to the plane seeming to buzz their rooftops on the way in, but this plane last night was clearly way too low, and as you're going to see from the video you're about to watch, it's amazing only the pilot was killed. The main part of the airplane stopped just inches from Jenny Valeri's house. The 91-year-old woman was inside balancing her checkbook just after 8 p.m., according to her son Tom.
Behind her, this crash, and boom, and it shook the house and shook her, and she turns around to see this wreckage, no more than 3 or 4 feet outside the window.
His mom is fine but upset about the death of the pilot, 64-year-old Peter Woodsall of Mission Hills, Kansas. He clipped the top of this beacon, then plummeted into the trees. One wing is still stuck up in the branches. Airport officials say Woodsall had flown into Danbury before, but it is a tricky place to land.
It's a difficult airport, and it's small in terms of landing and taking off, but the pilots are well aware of that, and they're used to flying in and out of here.
Now, while the mayor says Danbury Airport is safe, this is the second crash they've had here this month. A couple of weeks ago, a plane crashed on takeoff. The investigation revealed the cause of that was mechanical failure. On the scene in Danbury, I'm Kent Pierce, News 8.
And the NTSB just wrapped a news conference a short time ago on this plane crash.
Let's head out to News 8's Bob Wilson live at the crash scene in Danbury tonight with more on the still ongoing investigation. Bob?
Yes, what they're doing over here right now is they're taking apart the plane. We can show you parts of the plane over here. It came down in the front yard. They're going through the wreck meticulously, trying to figure out exactly what went wrong. The NTSB says that they know that the plane clipped a beacon, spun out of control, went through the treetops and into the yard, but they don't know why it was flowing so low. A lot of people out here taking guesses, saying the wind was a lot. There was a lot of wind last night, as well as there's no smell of gasoline in the area. It could have been low on fuel. Those are just speculations. Meanwhile, the NTSB says everything is on the table.
We're really looking at the pilot, the machine, and the environment. And by pilot, I mean recent experience, total experience. With the machine, we'll again be documenting the wreckage, looking for anything out of the ordinary. Of course, looking at its recent maintenance history and overall maintenance history. And then with the environment, we'll be looking at weather data, radar data. In addition, this airplane had a GPS similar to what you'd have in your automobile, and sometimes those store data, so that will be another source of evidence for us.
Now, the NTSB is here. They have brought along a lot of other federal investigators as well. They're going through the crash site. They're moving through, taking apart it wing by wing, piece by piece. We see the cockpit is laying there right on the front lawn here. You can see the seats where the pilot was sitting at this point. Those have been cut away, all the frame around it. There's the tail section and the wing over here and behind the tree. They have it hoisted and winched up by a tow truck, and they're going through the tail section as well, trying to figure it out. This one type of plane, ironically enough, does have a parachute built into it. We talked to the NTSB and FAA about that. They say that it did have a large parachute in the back so that if something went wrong, they could deploy that parachute and catch it up in the air and let it slowly drift down. They say that parachute never deployed. It was found outside the aircraft but still bundled tightly in a ball. I'm Bob Wilson reporting live in Danbury, News 8.